everyone, and welcome to our latest weekly catch-up on DDP Yoga and my life in general. Not much going on, as you can imagine, with the quarantine, the lockdown everyone seems to be under at the moment, justifiably so. That being said, I have been doing some things, but first of all, the DDP Yoga. It's been another week of stand-up, bespoke workout and red hot core. It's going well, a little demotivated simply just due to the current pandemic situation, but powering through it. The scales haven't been fixed yet, the batteries haven't been replaced, simply because the store that would provide it's a special circular lithium battery type thing rather than just a standard AA or AAA. The stores that are currently open for the essentials don't supply those batteries, so I haven't been able to get them replaced as of yet. So at the moment, I still don't know what I weigh. So it's going to be interesting to see how that transpires once that's able to be overcome. That said, I do feel good. I still look like a blimp, but I feel good. It's a weird. It's a weird duality that I feel great, then I look in the mirror and face on, fantastic, profile, Alfred Hitchcock. And it's weird, I look a lot bulkier in the gut than I feel, and it's a weird thing. And I don't know if I'm just looking at it wrong, but it is what it is. Again, like I said, I feel good, I'm moving well, I'm limber, or more limber than I have been. Just maintaining things as they go along, because we have no idea how long this situation is going to last. Hopefully it won't be any longer than a couple of months, but for that to happen, people do need to follow the guidelines and the instructions, and I have to say most people are, but there are still those people out there who are spreading fake cures, they're spreading fake news, they're just being bullshit and deciding to ignore it because no one tells me what to do, kind of thing. And you might catch it and you might be fine, but the people you infect afterwards may not be fine, and that's the duty that we have. That's the protocol. It's not just your own safety, there are other people in danger of this, and the more people isolate and the more people limit their contact with others, the less chance this virus has to spread, and the more time the scientists and the doctors have of finding some kind of solution, long-term solution, rather than the quarantine and the lockdowns that we have at the moment. But I'm not telling you things you don't already know. I hope you're finding creative ways to pass your time, maybe picking up a new skill, learning a new skill, or just using it as to give time to your creative outlets. I like writing, I like creating art. I can't draw to save my life, but I'm a terrible artist in that sense. What I think I'm good at is collating images and creating something from them. Creating logos with text and things, or just creating nice images from stock images that are out there already and putting them together in a way that's unique, bold, and something that people will enjoy. I also do creative writing as well, although that's kind of taken a bit of a back seat for a while. During the current situation as well, Josh is home from school. The schools have all been closed, but he has been doing some homeschooling with his mum, doing some when he's going to be here as well, but he's been doing some homeschooling with his mum, covering various things: science, maths, English, Welsh, domestic, like cooking and things like that, music, and he's been doing all of these things, and credit to his mum, she's managed to do it in such a way that it's fun for him as well, and he's continuing to receive an education until such time as the schools come back. I have been working from home for the last week, and that is going to continue for the foreseeable future. Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, issued a ruling that you should only travel to work if it is impossible for you to actually work from home. Offices, stores, various things that are considered non-essential have all been closed down. So I've been working at home for the last week, and while I would rather be working in the office environment around my friends, my work colleagues, working from home has been okay. I get access to all the systems I would at work, so really doing the work itself is the same. It's just in a different location, so it's been a little bit of an adjustment, but it is something that we're managing to do quite well. And looking at these things, I am looking at the silver linings of the situation, trying to make the best of it. And they are simple things, but there's no commute to work. That's a positive. I'm looking at the positives to keep myself in a positive frame of mind. So not having to commute to work, it's an hour there and an hour back normally, that's given me extra time in bed. I get a lie in. There's a good thing. I finish work at 5 p.m. I'm then home at 5 p.m. So there is also another fantastic bonus, a silver lining, if you will, of working from home. Now, as I said, I would rather not be working from home and no one having to be going through the current situation that we're all going through, but we are going through it, and you need to grab any positivity you can to get yourself through it. And for me, those are the silver linings for me. Those are the positives that I'm using to get me through this. And I hope whatever you do, you've managed to find some positives for yourself. Other things, I mean, just going online and talking with people online and such like, there are good things going to come out of this. Kids, the electronic age kids, are discovering the joys of family board game night, those type of things. Like when I was younger, when I was like Josh's age, maybe a bit younger, I used to play Monopoly with the family. I used to play Game of Life with the family. You know, there was these kind of things where you would spend time with your family and you would all just play a board game for a couple hours. And with the isolation and the forced time having to be spent with your family that you normally wouldn't spend with your family, there are things that are coming out of it. Use this time to express your own creative outlets, to catch up on those TV shows that you've been meaning to binge but haven't got around to. Catch up on the movies that you've missed, the books that you've missed. Anything to pass the time. You've got time on your hands now where you could be using it in a creative way, in a productive way. There's a lot of things you can do in this time. Where we are all in the same position of forced isolation, we're all stuck in a house. Make the best of it you can, and we will get through this. This week, I've played Resident Evil 2 Remake. Resident Evil 3 Remake is coming out, so I'm always kind of late to the party with the big AAA games. I normally wait until they get a second release, where you get like the Game of the Year edition and it's all the extras. So with a lot of the big hyped AAA releases, I'm usually 6 months, 12 months behind on those. Another reason I do that and leave them for a bit is all the patches will have been done, all the bugs will have been worked out, and it will be the premium version of the game by the time I get around to it. So I've been blitzing Resident Evil 2 Remake, and you can complete the campaign in 8-9 hours. You can complete it in a lot less, but if you're doing everything, you'll go through it. So I have completed Leon's A story and Claire's B story, so I'm working through Claire's A story at the moment. So I'll probably have that, Leon's second story, and the additional what if stories that are playing that you get with as well. There's 4 of them. I'll probably have them all done by the end of the week. Then I can move on to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I imagine is going to take a very long time to complete. I've also been catching up on some TV shows, although a few of the TV shows that I watch didn't have any episodes this week. I don't know if they're... because I know, for those who watch the channel, they know that the Arrowverse shows are the ones I deal with the most. And they are still, when the series are airing, they're still filming the later episodes. And I believe that Supergirl has like 3 episodes left to film, Batwoman has 4 episodes to film. I'm not sure about Flash or Legends of Tomorrow. And if their production is shut down, it would make sense for them to hold off, perhaps until production is back up and they know when the finale episodes are going to be able to be aired, to then put the shows back on. So they've aired repeats the last week. Maybe they'll do that this week. Wrestling wise, AEW and WWE have continued to air empty arena shows. They're doing the best that they can in a very difficult situation. Ideally, my own point of view is they should have closed the shows down, just stopped them until such time as everything get back to normal. Especially WWE's got WrestleMania coming up this weekend, and they're still going ahead with it even though it's an empty arena thing. And it's going to be so weird with WrestleMania, especially the last 10, I want to say, have all come from huge stadiums, generally averaging about 70,000 people. Going from that to 0 fans, it should have been postponed. WWE especially, AEW is fledgling, they're young, they don't have a huge library to fall back on, but WWE does. WWE could, from now until the end of the year, easily fill those time slots with archived content. They've got all the documentaries on the network they could air, all the historic matches from the libraries, hidden gems. There's nothing to stop them doing a series where the talent, which they do on the network, on WWE.com, they do a series where 2 people, or whoever was in the match, watch back the match together and talk about the match. And those can be fascinating as well, because you get an insight into the actual performers and what was on their head during certain moments and such. And they have the resources and the talents to be able to do that. They could fill an entire schedule for a year on historical content and still make... Their production staff is the best in the world. Their actual video production stuff, they could make so many great shows on a shoestring staffing level, skeleton staff, to cover the year. They could postpone WrestleMania, and with it being postponed, rather than doing bare bones TV shows to advance the stories just get picked up from where we left them off. Because everyone got sent home. In storyline, the company's been shut down. We're running archive stuff while this is going on. The tensions that have been simmering leading into all these rivalries at WrestleMania would simmer for that period of time. You then come back, maybe 2 weeks, you know everything's coming back on X date. 2-3 weeks beforehand, you air hype shows leading up to the go-home shows for WrestleMania. You then have 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown, 1 NXT for the takeover as well. You have that, you air them after the hype, and then we go into WrestleMania weekend, be it in June, July. We go WrestleMania weekend, and we have the show we were meant to have. I know that's easy for me to say, not working there, but from what I've read online, and again, pinch of salt and all that, no one wants these shows to go ahead other than Vince from what I've read on very reliable reports, everyone wants the show's postponed. Everyone wants to be safe and home. No travelling, no congregating. Just let this thing pass, and then we'll pick up where we left off. I get the whole show must go on mentality. I genuinely do. I get Vince himself not wanting his crown jewel of the calendar year to fail at this point after 36 years. I get that. But there's bigger things. There's lives at stake. There's health at stake. And we'll all be here. Hopefully we'll all be here when this blows over and we can all get back to whatever passes for normal in your life. That's just my 2p thoughts on that. What else you can do is you can support independent artists online. But at the moment I'm doing the DDP Yoga. This is what this video is ostensibly about, but it's grown and evolved into something a bit more. But DDP Yoga, this is a guy, he's an independent provider of content. Really, that's what he is. And through the DDP and the DDP Yoga team, he has transformed and helped to continue to transform so many lives, including my own. And I do these videos partly for my own catharsis, partly as a motivational tool for others to see that this thing works, and partly to spread the word of DDP because it works. And he is doing the Lord's work for so many people, from so many walks of life, so many ages, you name a type of diversity, this yoga package covers everyone. I'd also like to give a shout out to a couple of independent artists who have helped me get through the past couple of weeks of being essentially isolated. And first of all, there's the YouTube guys from Cultaholic, from Walk Culture, from the New Rock Stars. I think I mentioned a lot of these last week. They continue to help me cope being on my own for such an elongated period of time. Special shout out to Kate Nix and Ophidian Cobra, Closet Champion, for producing fantastic videos. For those who don't know, Ophidian Cobra he's a wrestler, he's a mass luchador, he's a fantastic wrestler, great promo, great guy, and his wife, Kate Nix, is also an amazing performer. She writes amazing songs, she sings them well, she is a chameleon of chaos, really. Both looks, aesthetically, she is such a chameleon with how she can change. So many different looks that you could link them all. I could post pictures of them and you would never guess that it's the same person. Ophidian, he's just a funny guy. He's very warm and genuine whenever he's on the videos. He's a fantastic person as well. And someone I only get introduced to the other night. He reminds me of someone I knew when I was younger. My early 20s. We were watching the Lullaby Lounge replay on Thursday, and it's like there was going to be a raid from the people on there over to Bright Kelly's Songs from the Big Chair show that he was doing on the Thursday night. It was weird because as soon as he popped up on the screen, there was a wave of recognition, even though this is the first time I'd ever came across his work. And it took a few minutes, but then realised it was someone we used to hang out with when we would go out to the pubs and the clubs back home in Airdrie, Scotland, where I'm from. And I don't know if that helped because there was that instant familiarity. But obviously sticking around with the show, as he's another fantastic songwriter, fantastic singer, doing his own work, doing covers just like Kate does. Because of the time, because he's in the US, because of the time difference, I had to leave the show early. It was getting a bit late over here in the UK. But the next day I jumped back in to watch the show, what replay of the show, the archive version, from where I dropped out previous night, and it was a thoroughly great show, so I'm definitely going to be a regular for his Songs from the Big Chair show. There'll be links in the description below for Closet Champion, for KNX, for Brian Kelly's stuff. I urge you to check it out. It's helping me immensely get through my own situation. It's a community where everyone is welcome. You can feel part of a community even though you're on your own, and I'd heartily recommend all of you checking it out. If it's not for you, fine. We all have different tastes, no one is right or wrong. If it is for you though, and you like what you're seeing, then by all means stick around. The more the merrier isn't just the same. So where do we go from here? Well, I am going to continue to be working from home. I'm going to be continuing to do the DDP Yoga bespoke workout sessions that I've been doing. Hopefully that will help out. As a people, hopefully we will learn from this. We will be better people when we come out of it. It's going to be tough over the next couple of weeks, maybe even the next couple of months. I fear it is going to get worse before it starts to get better. I fear that not everyone is going to make it, unfortunately, which is a terrible thing to say, is a harsh reality of life. To the people saying this is just a flu, or more people die each year from X, Y, or Z, it's not just a flu. People do die from other things, but this is killing people rapidly, and it's killing people across the globe simultaneously. This isn't just a quick fad that people are jumping on. This is serious. This is real life. This is causing people to panic because they are being given misinformation. It's also causing people to be reckless because they're being given misinformation. My own advice: I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm just a guy in his living room in Wales. Go with what official government instructions are, what the official science community guidelines are, the World Health Organization. Stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you all again